What's up again, everybody? We are here with some gameplay commentary. Ryan and I were playing some games, playing some Dice Masters. We threw together some teams, and I actually brought this team that I had featured on a previous video. So if you checked out the community combo video that I posted recently, then you'll have seen that I put together a team around the Captain America and Atlantis combo. It also uses some of the new D&D cards. Well, I guess really specifically it uses Yawning Portal to try and do some absolutely bonkers crazy things. Ryan over here, if you have not seen his team in the team link down below, he is running Golden Age Winter Dragons, a Ring of Winter Dragons, I should be more specific. He's got the Yawning Portal on there, but honestly he has absolutely never bought it. This is our third game that we've played. I played a different team previous to this one, and he just wrecked my face with the Draco Lich that you may see come out in this game. It's a 7-cost card. It's from the original Battle for Faerun set, and it's absolutely disgusting when you play actions because it can just deal a ping damage every single time you or your opponent plays actions. And we were talking about this. He made a really, really good call here. It is absolutely crazy full of actions. That is the meta in Modern and just right now in Dice Masters. Everyone's playing actions, and it's pretty bonkers. So being able to use that Draco Lich and the Red Dragon Global, if you don't know what that is, it's pay a bolt, and then deal your opponent a damage when you buy an action die. It's pretty crazy. Going over what I did turn one, I decided to go first, by the way, and I rolled my 3 dice. I fielded a sidekick, and then I Red Dragon Globaled and purchased my Atlantis. Atlantis is a 2-cost action that allows me to draw and roll 2 dice anytime I field a sidekick character die. So then I pass on over to Ryan. Notice Ryan is at 19, even though we haven't moved the little dial there. Ryan does the same thing to me. He uses the Red Dragon Global, pays a bolt, buys an action die for 2 cheaper, and then deals me a damage, and he picks up his Ring of Winter. He also uses the excess energy that he had to buy one of those Shocking Grasp dice. Shocking Grasp, there you can see, is the basic action, sort of right there down in the very center, and it is a 2-cost action, and he's rolling that as red. I'm going to field a sidekick here. I'm going to pay a bolt and then pay 1 to pick up my Yawning Portal, dealing him a damage. Again, we're just using that back and forth Red Dragon Global. And I'm buying up all these actions, but I'm keeping in mind that I need to get some damage on the board really, really quickly, because if he can use his combo pieces to get his big dragons out. I used Great Food and Water Global there, hoping to pull a sidekick and instead pull the Yawning Portal. So I put that back in the bag. So my bag's at 5 instead of 4. Anyway, I need to deal him some damage quick before he can really set up and use the Silver Dragon that he has to help him buy the Red Dragon or the Draco Lich, because I've invested and he's invested in action dice, and that Draco Lich will deal me a damage every time either of us rolls an action die, which is just gross. He's going to Red Dragon Global, pay 2 for a Candlekeep, and then he's going to resurrect, putting everything into the bag. He has 5 dice in the used, so pulling 1 out, we'll put that at 4 dice. Oh, no, I think he caked. Excuse me, not res. He caked, and he put a sidekick. No, he did not. That's right. He actually drew Ring of Winter and then put it back as well. So he did what I did. He hoped to set his bag to 4 instead of 5, and instead he just ended up pulling out the Ring of Winter and putting it right back. So both of our bags are at 5 instead of 4, which is awkward. We can fix that if either of us use an energy right here to take a die out of our bag and put it into our use. Technically, that does fix it. So here we have 5 energy, 2 shields, 1 fist, 1 question mark, 1 bolt. And our goal is to do something with this combo, right? We want to have Captain America come down and then play action dice so we can field dice from our used. I think it's going to be a little tricky to do so, just because once you start using Atlantis, it sort of floods your bag and then floods the board and then floods your use pile, which forces you to refill at the beginning of your turn. I re-rolled the Atlantis. It comes up as the single shield, which is frustrating. So we buy another Atlantis, and then we pay 2 to bring that Atlantis over. I did bring the Supreme Intelligence Global so that we can prep over 2-cost actions or 2-cost things. I step back, though, because it's possible that we might just do this in a different way. Decide just to keep as is, and then pass the turn over. So there's 1 die in the bag. That's a sidekick. We know that. Or it's actually 2, right? 2 dice in the bag? Something. No, we left the Yawning Portal, I guess, is what we ended up doing. Yawning Portal will come out next turn. So we have Yawning Portal and Atlantis on the same turn. He lands his Candlekeep straight away, which is good. It's going to allow him to prep. He also lands the sidekick alongside of the Shocking Grasp, which allows him to ping out that sidekick with Shocking Grasp, prepping the Shocking Grasp alongside of the Ring of Winter that's still in his bag. It's funny, we've both kind of tried to do similar things and had similar results. We both tried to cake Global to set our bags up for turn 3 nicely, and we both missed, so 5 dice were in there instead of 4. We both tried to, or we both ended up rolling these things as they are so that we end up with pretty bomb giant turn 4 plays. As you see, he's going to have Ring of Winter on turn 4. So Shocking Grasp could target his own sidekick. It could also hit one of my sidekicks. First thing he's going to do is use the Candlekeep to prep 2 sidekicks. Oh, I must have been wrong. Yeah. And then he's going to cake Global and realize that the only thing left in the bag was the Ring of Winter, so no point in cake Globaling there. Then he's thinking, does he want to KO his own? Obviously, he wants to KO his own. Doesn't want to KO anything for me because giving me a sidekick alongside of Yawning Portal and Atlantis, extra dice to roll is always good. Okay, we do have a Sararak just in case we miss here, but we are rolling 2 actions on, speaking of missing, we did miss. So we get a reroll. We're obviously going to keep the sidekick. Do we need the mask? We keep the mask. Do we need the shield? We keep the shield. And we roll both of those action dice as energy. So we are going to want to pay one of those things to use the Sararak Global. Now the question is, which one do we want to Sararak? Do we want to re-roll the Yawning Portal and then get a cost reduction of 1 and then spend some shields and a mask? Or do we want to re-roll the Atlantis and try to cycle our bag a little bit? We choose to re-roll the Yawning Portal. It stays on double bolts. So Sararak does not pay off. Just like Parallax in the old days, sometimes it's just a trap. Trying to figure out if we're going to cake Global. I almost played it as Rez because it was silly. Then we realized, oh yeah, Rez is not in this game. We had just played with Rez previous. Cake Global, turns out it's a sidekick, put it there. Then I spend the 4 on the Captain America and move on. Here comes the Ring of Winter and 3 sidekicks and Shocking Grasp and 3 more sidekicks. So it's quite possible, if the Ring of Winter does come up, it's quite possible that he's going to have a dragon in the field this turn. He's going to choose to re-roll or to keep that Shocking Grasp because it does have a target. It can hit my sidekick. Oh no, he's going to scoop it and re-roll. He's just keeping a bolt and a question mark. So he misses his Ring of Winter. Let's see if he chooses to use my Sararak Global that I conveniently brought for him. Keep in mind, after we both bought those 2 actions each, we've not made use of any other attacks or globals, so our life total is still sitting at 1818. I would imagine he would want to re-roll this Ring of Winter to see if it can come up, because if you do, you've got yourself a hard-bought Silver Dragon, or you could get fancy maybe and try to sneak up to like the Gold Dragon or a Red Dragon, Draco Lich, something like that. Looks like he's thinking about paying this to reroll. Yeah, he's going to pay a question mark. I think I would pay a shield, but either way, it comes up. So we can expect a purchase of something like a Silver Dragon. Looks like he's moving 5. Buys the Silver Dragon. Plays the Ring of Winter. That means that any dragon in the used pile will come in on level 3, which is just crazy. Such a cool card. And then Shocking Grasp, probably one of my sidekicks. Makes the most sense. On my side of the field, yeah, it looks like he is going to shocking grasp my sidekick. On my side of the world, we've got an Atlantis in the bag. We knew that, so at least we have the possibility of churning through our bag if the Atlantis can actually come up and we get a sidekick to kick things off. We have 2 sidekicks to kick things off, and we do have energy necessary to trigger a Sararak, so we get 2 more rolls at this. Oh, we are going to scoop the other 2 energy there. Ah, wow, 3 sidekicks come up on the same turn that we have an Atlantis. So we're going to play the Atlantis. This is where things get fun. Definitely going to want to field that sidekick. Field the sidekick. That's going to allow us to draw and roll 2. It's going to draw us the Captain America. Maybe we get the combo to go off. No, Captain comes up as 2 shields. Okay, field a second sidekick. Rolling up the Yawning Portal and the Atlantis at the same time. And the Atlantis does not come up, and the Yawning Portal does come up. Okay. So once we field a sidekick here, it is going to allow us to reduce the purchase cost of everything by 1. Now, playing the Yawning Portal doesn't count other things that were fielded prior to this. I'm going to pay 1 to Sararak Global the... no, looks like I'm not going to Sararak Global the Atlantis there. It's possible we could do that. Now, technically, that would just draw and roll us 4 dice, but if we count what's in the field here, we only have 1 sidekick, 1 sidekick left in the bag, so really it's not necessary to Sararak Global the Atlantis here because, you know, even if we bought like 2 things, it's not going to matter really that much. We don't have the energy, essentially, is what I'm getting at. We don't have the energy to purchase 2 more things and then field the sidekick and roll them because we haven't gotten the discount yet. Those 2 sidekicks that we have fielded, they have not counted towards Yawning Portal, so we do need to purchase. We need to pay 3 or 4 or whatever we want to buy. We need to pay for those things, put them in the bag, and then field the sidekick to roll them. So paying 1... and 2, and we do need to pay 1 more here for that Wong. Let's see if we catch ourselves. I believe I remember being totally in the tank during this moment. So playing the Yawning Portal has not counted anything yet. 1, 2, and then we've got to pay 1 more. And as far as what we pay, it doesn't really matter. Keeping a bolt around is pretty good. So there's the 3rd energy. That puts our Wong in the bag. And we are going to field that 3rd sidekick. That now does reduce everything by 1. We are going to roll the Wong and roll a sidekick. And the Wong and the sidekick both come up. Oh my god. That is crazy. And keep in mind, because Yawning Portal is active, that Wong costs 0 to field. So we can pay 2 for something and then put it in the bag and then roll that as well. Let's see. We're going to pay all 3, I guess, for another like Captain America or something, right? Put that in the bag. Field the sidekick, pull the cap out, roll the Captain America. Ah, we missed it again. Ah, see, we didn't get the Captain America combo to go off. Okay, this is the 3-cost Wong that gives all sidekicks +1/+1. So we have 6 sidekicks active. That's 12 damage right there. If we push with everything, including the 3/3 Wong, we are pushing with 17, which is crazy. Keep in mind, at the beginning of this turn, we had 2 sidekicks in the field. Just bonkers. Now, I have seen people play fish teams, right? I've seen this happen. But being the one that's actually doing the the craziness is just on another level. It's just totally different. If you've never played a team like this before, I highly recommend it because this was hilarious. It felt like nothing was going my way until literally everything went my way, and I dealt him 10 damage in 1 turn, dropping him to 8. Now, he did keep his Silver Dragon in the field, and if he does pull or cycle to the Ring of Winter, then we do have to start worrying because he can just kind of board clear with Breath Weapon, which is just disgusting. The nice thing about rolling Captain America on 2 shields here, by the way, for us, is it allows us to use the Supreme Intelligence Global on Ryan's turn to pull another Atlantis over to our prep area. giving us a little bit more consistency because our bag is flooded here. And this is kind of the sort of anti-synergy with Captain America and Atlantis. When you do one of those bomb turns, your bag is empty and your used pile becomes flooded, and then you refill and there's no sidekick in used, which is why we put the Create Food and Water Global on the team in the first place. So you can use that pay one, put a sidekick into your used pile effect. As long as you have sidekicks, of course. So he uses Candlekeep to draw and roll 2. Gives him 2 energy. But he does not have a lot going on. He needs blockers. Even though it doesn't look like we have anything coming at him right now, it is very possible that we just do that exact same thing next turn. Oh, he is able to buy his Draco Lich here, which is also a very good buy because I am rolling actions. So I can just ping myself to death by rolling actions, not even by using them. It's literally if I take him out of the bag and roll it, I take a damage, which is gross. And if he takes it out of the bag and rolls it, he takes a damage as well. He's looking at my field and seeing he's not really doing much with those 2 fists. He's going to pay 1 to Cake Global. He's going to take a sidekick and put it in used. Technically, if he wanted to, he could play the Counter-Strike Global and prep that sidekick over. Now that it's in used, because I did also bring Counter-Strike. Oh, no, he's going to decide not to Cake Global and instead, I guess, buy something. What's he going to buy? He's going to buy another Shocking Grasp. Okay. Makes sense, right? You want to get your actions ready to go. Fill up on actions as much as possible. So I go ahead and use the 2 shields on Captain America to prep over one of those Atlantis dice. We're going to pull 4 here, allowing us to roll 6, and one of those is Atlantis. Let's see what we pull. Oh my god. I forgot that happened. Atlantis, Yawning Portal, all in the same roll. Let's see what happens. Oh, good lord. Oh, my God. That is just absolutely insane. Oh, my God. I forgot about that roll, too. Jeez. Okay, so in this scenario, we can just play Yawning Portal, then play Atlantis, and then everything costs 2 cheaper, and then and then we draw and roll 8 dice. This is insane. So we play the Yawning Portal, of course, and then we play both of those. So then we're going to field 1 sidekick, draw and roll 4 dice. That's so crazy. Let's see if the Captain America shows up to the party. He does, and we get another sidekick. That is just, at this point, across the table, Ryan is just shaking his head. That field's for free because Yawning Portal exists. They decided to make that card. Then we're going to field another sidekick. I mean, technically, we could just buy stuff. We don't really have much that we can buy in the form of bolt stuff, though. It's crazy. Gonna field another sidekick, draw and roll 4. At this point, we've basically deduced that the game is probably over. I'm gonna draw another cap, roll the... Oh, cap comes up. But look, we only get bolts. What are we gonna do with all these bolts? Gonna pay... Oh, we don't even have to pay to field him. He fields for free. It's crazy. What can we buy? What can we buy? And this is the moment. This is a hilarious moment. This is the moment where Ryan points out, hey, if you want to, you can actually buy a Sarah rack. And I said, yeah, that seems fun, but you know what? I don't actually have the die for it. I didn't bring the die. And he was like, dude, don't worry about it. Just buy it. And he was like, you know, you could have actually attacked with the Sarah rack this turn too. And I was like, yeah, but how would I? Oh, yeah, that's true. It would have prepped over. And I would have been able to roll it. So he's like, roll it. And then it comes up. He's like, just match it up 1 through 6. And it was like, it rolls on level 3. And he's like, I think I'll block that one. Just takes a massive amount of backswing damage. I guess it's not even really a backswing. That is just absolutely insane. That was crazy. So we didn't actually manage to put Captain America in the field and use the use the effect the combo together with Atlantis, but we are able to see what happens when you put Atlantis alongside of Yawning Portal. And the answer is disgusting stuff. Thank you, Jason, for the combo. Thank you for the idea for the series. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave me a like and a comment. Feel free to subscribe to the channel and check out some more of the stuff that's on it. If you want to support me on Patreon, do that as well. Feel free, links in the description. As always, everybody, thanks for watching.